Now, 2 Russian missiles have slammed into a crowded shopping center in the central Ukrainian city of Kremenchuk on Monday, killing at least 16 people, wounding 59. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has said that more than 1,000 people were in that mall at the time of the attack, which witnesses there who really witnessed that entire crash has said that huge fire and smoke erupted. This really has sent shockwaves across that region. Let's have a look.
2 Russian missiles slammed into a crowded shopping center in the central Ukrainian city of Kremenchuk on Monday, killing at least 10 people and wounding 40, according to local officials. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said more than 1,000 people were in the shopping center at the time of the attack, which witnesses said caused a huge fire and sent dark smoke billowing into the sky. A Reuters reporter saw the charred husk of the shopping center with a caved-in roof. Firefighters and soldiers were pulling out mangled pieces of metal as they searched for survivors. Zelenskyy wrote on the Telegram messaging app, quote, "It's useless to hope for decency and humanity from Russia." And the governor of the region called it an act of terrorism against civilians. Russia did not immediately comment on the assertion. It has denied deliberately targeting civilians during what it calls its special military operation in Ukraine. Russian missile attacks have stepped up in recent days, with a primary school in Kharkiv hit in the early morning hours of Monday, said the school's director.
The school has been badly damaged. You have seen for yourself.
There were no casualties, but windows were blown out, walls cracked, with debris strewn throughout. In the schoolyard, a huge crater. And another rocket hit a nearby privately owned garage, sparking a fire at a residential building.
Let me quickly cut across to Rajesh Pawar, joining us for an understanding of what really happened. Rajesh, please give us a sense of how bad this attack has been. 16 people have lost their lives. They were all caught off guard as that missile dropped on a busy commercial shopping hub.
Look, Navida, this is in Kremenchuk where these 2 missiles hit a shopping mall. And there are a lot of people, which reports are that about 10 people have died in this strike. And it is really sad that civilian lives are being lost in this war. But having said that, let me tell you, this is a series of reports coming from Ukraine, and the civilian targets have been hit on both the sides. Even at the risk of being labeled as pro-Russia, which a lot of people have told me, our job is to look at it in a very objective way. And I'm not surprised when the reports come like from Kharkiv now with a missile hit, and including 1 child was injured. A school was hit, a kindergarten was hit, a hospital was hit. Let me put it in a little perspective. See, a missile costs a lot of money. And Russia or Ukraine, for that matter, any country would not waste this much amount of money hitting schools or kindergartens or hospitals. Yes, there can be an error of judgment, and there could be these missiles might land on such targets. I'm not denying that. But having said that, let me tell you, in the initial days of war, we have discussed it a lot. A lot of civilians were armed by Ukrainian government. And there have been incidents like this in the past as well. There was a missile hit on a similar mall in Kyiv as well in March. And later on, the Russian Ministry of Defense has issued a video wherein a vehicle which has hit a tank, Russian tank, and then ran for cover inside this mall. So I want our viewers to know that a lot of such targets, be it schools, be it kindergartens, where there are no children studying at the moment, are used to house military equipment and military personnel as well. And this incident
What's shocking here is that this is a busy commercial hub. It's a shopping mall, knowing very well that there could be people there. Not could be, there were people there. It was quite a busy shopping mall is what we understand. So do you feel that this was error in judgment while striking, or this was a deliberate target?
It could be anything, Nabila, but let me tell you, I have seen through various videos, not just one issued by President Zelenskyy. I have gone through a lot of videos, and if you look at the parking lot, there were merely 2 to 3 cars outside a mall. In a big city like Kyiv, you do not have 1,000 people at one time in a mall. And in these times, this is certainly an exaggerated report, but I'm not denying there might have been casualties, civilian casualties, which is condemnable. Nabila.
It's absolutely tragic. Right now, Rajesh, if you can give us an understanding on this Kremenchuk area of Ukraine, is this an area that is seeing heavy bombardment by Russian forces at this point? And how far is Russia from capturing Ukraine altogether? A quick understanding on the areas that they've already dominated.
Nabila, there have been more than 50 missile strikes in last 1 week all over Ukraine, including in western and central Ukraine. This area, Kremenchuk, is in central Ukraine, which has not been bombarded very heavily so far in the war. But in last 1 week, there have been strikes all over, be it in Lviv, be it in Dnipro, be it in Kharkiv, and today morning even in Odessa. So missile strikes have been carried out by Russian forces all over Ukraine. One, to stop the armaments which are coming from West, from America and Europe, from reaching them into to the front lines. Secondly, somehow they're targeting the depots and the railway infrastructure inside Ukraine, in any part of Ukraine, be it west, central or eastern part of Ukraine. As far as Russia, how far it is from capturing Ukraine, it is not Ukraine, but it is Donbass, I can say. Lugansk, they are on the last city now, Lysychansk. Moment they capture this city, on which they are closing on the Russian forces, complete Lugansk province will be under Russian control. Also, there are reports that Russian forces are closing on from different sides onto Odessa, the second biggest city of Ukraine and the biggest port city in Ukraine right now. They are already in control of Snake Island, which looks over all the traffic coming to Odessa port. So right now, intense fighting is going on. In last 1 week, Russian forces have seen a lot of successes, especially the withdrawal of Ukraine forces from Severodonetsk in Lugansk province. Nabila.
Months later, the war still continues, and we're seeing the G7 nations at this point condemning this Russian attack, where we're seeing hectic civilian casualties. Rajesh Pawar on top of that story. Thank you very much, Rajesh, for joining us.